Alright guys, here we are for episode 17 of the Old Guy Farmer's single player challenge. We should be in day 5 of the first year of autumn. And I want to tick off a particular mod that I had forgot to enable yesterday. But that's fine. We're not going to buy it right now, but I just want to make sure we tick it off. That way we know it's available when we do finally need it. It's one of those mods that I never really remember where it is in the list. I wish there was a better way of organizing these. Alrighty, where did it go? If I don't find it this time, I'm just going to have to look for it later and kind of make a little note as to where it is in the list. I'm not seeing it. Alright, well, we'll just pick it later. I was looking for that little Amazon mower, but we're not going to mow any grass for our sheep. Right now we're going to wait to, we're not going to do that until springtime, but I was just going to go ahead and pick it in the folder. So I'll take another day to look through that list a lot slower off camera, figure out where it is, and then next time we do a stream, I'll be sure to be able to pick it much quicker. So we are going to, first thing we do when we jump in here, we're going to need to remember to take care of our sheep. Now that we've got sheep, we've got to basically remember to take care of them. I typically play with the Animal Table Manners mod, which basically means that the sheep clean up after themselves. But in the spirit of the contest, I figure that mod is probably would be considered cheating. So in the spirit of the contest, we're not going to use that mod. We're just going to clean up after our little sheeps here on a regular basis. And the next thing we want to do is, thinking we want to do a mission down here. Hey country girl, how you doing? We're going to do this mission. Yeah. Because we're going to buy this field. I don't know if we're going to buy it today, but we're going to buy it at some point. How are you liking the contest, country girl? Let's go ahead and so the advantage of this particular mission is that when we do buy this field, it will have one layer of fertilizer already applied to it. So that will save us time and money. So all we'll need to do is plow this up, similar to the field behind us, and then apply another layer of fertilizer, sow it, and then fertilize it, and we're already good. We're good with our 3. Well, I'm doing good. I just thought I'd finish the day with a nice relaxing 15 times stream. I'm actually thinking about doing 15 times for my next Let's Play video series. I think I'm going to do either 9 days or 12-day seasons at 15x speed to give the whole series a bit of urgency to it. Because with Serenity Valley, we would do before we added seasons, we would play on 1x speed, and we would easily get 3 episodes out of a day, game day. And in reality, since I've added seasons, we've gone through more game days in the last 7 episodes that I've recorded than the previous 40. So I watched a little bit of your stream. I jumped around until I heard you chatted up a little bit. You definitely don't talk too much, but to each their own. I assume most people tune into you to watch your gameplay, not necessarily to hear you blabber on about various things. So I'm not sure today what we're going to do. I think we might spend the day mowing grass and baling because it's day 5 of spring. We only have today and tomorrow to cut grass, and after that we are done baling. We're done cutting grass for 6, 7, 8, 9, probably 10 days. So whatever we don't get today and tomorrow, we're not going to get. So we might as well, as the saying says, make hay while the rain is shining. Not the rain, while the sun is shining. And the only way to do that is to get to it. There we go. All right. So what's the next job? Is the next job on here plowing? Oh, we could get paid to plow the field. We might just plow this field tomorrow and buy it after we plow it, as opposed to let's just jump up here to our chickens. I think that'll be the plan. The plan will be to buy that field tomorrow after we plow it, so we'll get paid to plow the field, and we'll plow it at 1x speed, so that will save us time. If I didn't say anything already, hello Frantic Farming Fanatic. Here's our tractors. Let's check the grass here. We got some grass. Oh, one other thing I wanted to check is next game year, 3,600. We bought our sheep. Haha, we bought our sheep. It was like $3,000. Woohoo! We saved us some money. So next game year, I intend to check the price of the sheep every day and basically jot down the prices of the sheep every day. That way I know when the best price to sell the sheep will be in year 3. Oh, I think the contest is going well. Let's check and see the fertilized state. Okay, we could probably fertilize these, maybe. Let's check. Let's check to see if these fields will take a layer of fertilizer. I'm just going to spread a little bit on the corner here. And check the map. So they are not taking fertilizer. Oh, I don't know if I've made bad choices or not. It depends on your outlook. Have I made choices I regret? Not really. I mean, I'm a little annoyed at how slow these Ford tractors are. Do I regret buying them? Not really. We've just adjusted our strategy to kind of make sure that our operation is as centered around the farm as possible. So let's do just an offset this way. If we had faster tractors, then we might have made decisions a little different. We might have decided to be less centralized, and we might have spread our operation out a little bit more. Let's go over here. You're shifted. Where you should be shifted. Make sure you're shifted enough. Well, I'd say I wouldn't. Yeah, you look like you're shifted enough. I would say don't base everything on bank account balance, because you can have some money locked up in animals. You can have money locked up in land. You can have money locked up in equipment. So it's hard to really just judge based on bank balance. We are not hurting for cash, that's for sure. We have bought 100 sheep, so I don't know where the other contestants are as far as number of animals. I haven't paid that much attention to the other contestants, to be quite honest. I watch their streams, but I don't study their choices or their where they are with certain things. We've made a couple purchases of fields, so I don't know if the other contestants have bought fields or if they haven't bought fields. Which fields they've bought, I don't know. We are allowed to sell our fields at the end of the contest, so it's not like we've lost money by buying the fields. So maybe other people that have lower banking balances may have purchased some fields and may have the money tied up in fields. We have gone nugget hunting. So basically a big majority of that $400,000 is from the nuggets. The nuggets allowed us to buy our sheep. We spent $300,000 yesterday in buying sheep. We also bought a field yesterday. We bought, with our gold nugget money, we bought 4 additional greenhouses. So as a summary, right now we have 8 greenhouses, bringing us in supplemental income. We have 100 sheep that basically are sucking money away from us at this point because they are not productive. And that we're going to have to spend time on caring for. But we basically bought them at the lowest, at what I anticipate to be the lowest price of just over $3,000. The people that bought their sheep, if they bought sheep, if they bought them in spring, they would have paid a premium for them. If they bought the sheep in summer, they would have still paid a premium, but it would have been a little bit lower of a price. It seems like day 4 of autumn is the cheapest time to buy sheep. We always honk horns when we pass each other. So that's when we bought our sheep. And we're going to have to carry them with 0 productivity until spring. But we'll get the biggest bang for our buck, because we also plan on selling the sheep at their highest, regardless of when that is. So if they're still productive, but the sheep are at their highest resale price, I'm going to sell them back, and hopefully we will sell them for 0 loss. That would be the goal. So if we can manage to buy them at the cheapest point possible and sell them at the highest point possible, it may be that even though we only sell them for half the price that we pay for them for, that we lose almost no money off of the sale. So you sell fields by using the Bank of Hagenstock mod. So on the last day of the contest, we will activate that mod and use it to sell our fields. That way there's no penalty for buying fields. So we also have 266 bales of silage sitting around. We have not sold a single bale yet. The plan will be to sell our silage bales in the winter, when they should be the most valuable. And since we've got plenty of cash in the bank, there's no real need to sell any of that at this point. I don't know what's going on. I keep getting a message about chat being disconnected and reconnected, so I'm gonna finish this job up. Over to the next field. We'll set the offset back to what I'm accustomed to. Oh, that's okay, Mike. I'm getting tons of messages about chat being connected and disconnected. So I don't know if people are seeing your messages or any other messages at this point. I think he will. He's actually running 2 concurrent contests right now. He's also got a contest on the Goral map for multiplayer, and that's a multiplayer contest where you can have no more than 4 players on the map at any one time. You play 12-day seasons at 5x speed, and you play 1 game year. So he said that there will probably be, you'll probably announce another contest of some sort post-Christmas time. There's been rumors that it might be a multiplayer contest. But he's basically told me that it will be a hard contest. It won't. So you probably won't be able to use auto load. You probably won't be able to do. You might not be able to have any hired help. You might have to do it all by hand. You might have to. Well, I guess basically no auto load. That would pretty much harden it up pretty quick. I don't know if he'll do one that consoles could participate in. I don't know if he has a console himself. And I assume if it was a map that was available for PC and console, as long as the mods that were used were set to be console or PC, then I assume that might be fair. It probably wouldn't be fair if us PC players were competing with console and we used mods that console users couldn't have available to them. That might not be overly fair, but it's possible that if only mods that were available on both console and PC were used, that it would be a fairer contest. So after we mow this field, we're going to bring out the rake and bale this up. And then I've got a bit of, there's a bit of map grass around the farm down by the field where we just ran the mission that I want to mow up. And that will probably end us for the day. We'll have to just see how far we get. I'm thinking about leaving that field over there and field 11 until tomorrow. I thought you were going to make another pass down there, but oh well. So we don't have full growth on this, and I don't want to wait until tomorrow to see if we get a growth state overnight, simply because I don't want to leave grass on the field that we could have mowed. I don't think there's enough time in a day to mow all 4 of these fields in one day and get them all in. Hey Ed, how you doing? Glad you could join us in stream. Not sure when you joined, but the plan of the day is to mow. We mowed that field over there. We mowed this field. We're going to rake these up, bale them up, and we're going to try to get some grass down around field 24 and 19 mowed up and baled up, because we basically have today and tomorrow, and then the grass dies. So we're going to make hay while we can, or make silage bales while we still have grass to cut, because there will probably be 10 game days where we don't have grass. And those 10 game days are going to be spent preparing fields for next year and doing forestry. And I assume that some portion of one of those days will be selling a whole bunch of silage bales. I'm a PC only player. The only console I have is a Wii that we bought for our oldest daughter when she was much younger. And now our youngest son likes to play with it. I have to say, I'm really happy with these mowers. They have a really good working width. While they're offset, they're pretty easy to mow with. I was kind of worried I wouldn't like the mowers. At some point we should clean up our fertilizer bags. Do you have a joystick, Ed, that you use for forestry, or do you auto load, or do you manual load your stuff? Which one is this? This is the 25. Hey Rubber Burner, how you doing? I thought you were going to do a Woodshire stream, or have you already done that and finished? Because your Woodshires are usually several hours long, aren't they? Have you seen my man rake? Have you looked in the stats to see how many trees you've cut so far? Keyboard and mouse, and you still find forestry relaxing. That's quite something to say there. It's still quite the windrow, even though we didn't get a full cutting off of this. I'm sure you've got quite the number of trees cut. We've got measly 178 trees. But that's pretty much because since grass has come in, we've been focusing on grass. There'll be plenty of time to cut trees here in 2 game days. That's a pesky tree we're going to take out, that's for sure. Well, I thought you were saying that you didn't know, you didn't look. But if you've got 118 trees in 2 days, well, you're just getting warmed up. We're in day 17, so I would assume to have cut more trees than you at this point. Planted 500 trees so far. I hope you get enough out of those trees that you planted over 3 years. Given how slow the planter is and the cost of the tree pallets, knowing how much money you've got invested in those trees, hoping there's a decent enough return on that. Alright, see you later, country girl. But there's another pesky tree we're gonna have to take out. So you're going to go 100% forestry, no critters at all. It's already 1:23 in the afternoon. We started mowing these two fields at the in the dark of 6 a.m. Are you going to run missions at all to supplement your income at all? I think you could, if you supplemented your income with beet and potato missions, that should bring in quite a bit of money. I almost ran a potato harvest mission that was going to net me $30,000. They estimated that it was going to take me what, 3 hours to do. So I passed on it at the time because I think it was almost midnight my time. So let's get to making our pink marshmallows. Well, if you think 100,000 a day will keep you in the lead, that sounds like a good plan. I'm making about $13,000 a day. But I'm counting on my pink marshmallows to bring me a fair bit of dollars. I've not sold a single bale yet, and that's because in seasons bales price fluctuates by the season. So in, let's say, summertime, silage bales will bring you the smallest and lowest amount of money. Over on Serenity Valley, I made a bunch of silage bales, and basically, as I've been recording those episodes, I've been off camera selling one silage bale per game day, and kind of keeping track of it. And through late summer, silage bales have only been going for about $840 a bale. On that particular game save, I'm into the second day of autumn, and silage bales are now $910. According to the Seasons XML, late winter is the best time to sell silage bales. So during late winter, they appear to have a price index of 1.11, I think, which means they should sell for 11% more than normal. Whereas during other times of the year, they have a negative price index, or basically a price index less than 1. And I don't remember what the normal price is for silage bales on hard mode. We definitely have a few $100,000 locked up in silage bales. We've got ourselves 100 sheep now. So we bought them when they were the absolute cheapest. People that bought sheep right away paid upwards to over $5,000 a head for their sheep. When we bought our sheep yesterday, in day 4 of autumn, we paid just over $3,000 a head. $280 at this point. And we've got one more game day to make silage bales before winter. Because supposedly on the first day of winter, all of our grass goes down to that level right there. We're getting a lot of grass, or we're getting a lot of marshmallows off of this without it being a full growth. It's good to know. I suppose you're just going to leave the stumps lying around. And then there are some people that have put in the sawdust mod to get wood chips. Have you thought about that? Since you're doing all forestry, to get wood chips from all those trees you're cutting. Stumps don't make money, but if you have the sawdust mod installed, then you would get sawdust out of them. Of course, you'd have to go run around and pick up the sawdust. Next time we stop to do a bale, which is now, let's pull up the forecast. So we have rain scheduled the first day of winter. We actually don't have snow in the forecast until day 6. But it will be cold enough to snow on day 3. Well, I guess day 2 it will be cold enough to snow. We actually haven't gotten too much rain this year. That is true, but oh, I don't have. There seems to be a whole ton of great demands. I've never seen so many great demands on hard mode until I started playing with seasons. It's almost as if the great demand stuff is broken because it comes up way too often. But with the frequency of great demands, you would probably get a few great demands on wood chips if you stored them. Of course, wood chips with great demand, the prices don't drop. So Ed's usually a really great guess at on how many bales. So how many bales you think we're going to get off of this these 2 fields with our 3rd cutting of grass? Or maybe this is only our 2nd cut of grass. I think this might be our this might be our 2nd cut of grass on these planted fields. I've been asked why I didn't do the sawdust mod when I was doing the trees, and I basically told them that I didn't feel it was worth the time, like you didn't feel it was worth the time to run around and pick them up. But if forestry is your main focus, then it's kind of a secondary, maybe it's a secondary avenue of income off the same trees you're cutting. But if I did go around and pick up sawdust, I would probably use the Pottinger autoloader on the front to basically just drive around and shoot them into a tipper. They totally turned the wrong way on that. 2.5 trailer full. That's or at least a half trailer full, because I don't think there's 2.5 trailers here. Yeah, I mean, it is 72 days of cutting logs. There's another wonderful Goldcrest Valley sunset. We don't need our forecast anymore. Are you picking up eggs? Or are you just leaving them be? Oh, we got rain in the forecast. Is there rain tomorrow? Oh my gosh, there is rain scheduled for tomorrow. The last day I can cut grass and there's rain. Alright, we need to slow these trains down. It would stink to lose by just a few hundred eggs. I think I had a couple hundred eggs in my backpack, and I sold them for like $500. You can see why I wanted to slow the trains down. I don't want to get plowed into one. Oh, good, he made it over. Hi, Nicholas. How you doing? Well, there's only the you can only have 21 eggs in your at the coop. So you want to make sure you collect them before they get to 21. Because you don't want to basically stop egg production. $22 eggs. Now I said 21, I guess. So that's one way to make sure Old Guy Farmer isn't lurking around. You just spout off incorrect statements about its map. He can't stand to not correct you. Midnight. I didn't think you were ahead of me by an hour. I don't know how many I sold the other day. I got $500 and some out of them. Oh, I'll fix that problem and not owning that field here soon enough. Yeah, it's 11 p.m. for me. No more debt for you. Have you paid your loan off? Hello, Grandpa Gaming. How you doing? I've been watching your interest payments every day, wondering how long you were going to let that leave that loan out there. So, Grandpa Gaming, have you been following along with this contest? Have you been enticed by the possibility of participating? So I think I found a little an interesting bug with the game, in that the game doesn't have any problem with the hired helper driving on someone else's field. I don't know if you stream, but have you considered throwing your hat in the ring, per se? Sure, we can talk about that. So I am doing grass only, and supplementing that when there's no grass with forestry. Right now we are mowing some grass around some fields, simply because we're in day 5 of autumn, and in day 1 of winter, all this grass will die off. So we are quite literally making hay, if you will, while we can. And I'm about done mowing because we've got 4 hours till midnight, and by the time we rake this up and bale it up, it probably will be after midnight. See off in the distance, we've got 8 greenhouses over there that we are also getting supplemental income from. The contest is to do 3 full game years using 6-day seasons, running at 15 times speed. At the end of the 3rd year, we will be allowed to sell all of our equipment, sell any crops that we may have, sell any animals we may have, sell any fields we may have, and the winner is the person with the most money at the end. To the winner is the Platinum DLC. So I am using OBS to do my stream. So we're just waiting for this mower to get caught up to me. We're only allowed to use 1 hired worker at a time. We can't use tractors more than 250 horsepower. We can use mods, but they cannot be unrealistic. We are required to stream every minute of the gameplay. So at 6-day seasons and 3 game years, that is 72 game days streamed at 15 times speed, which means a game day takes approximately an hour and 15 to an hour and 45 minutes, depending on if you play through the night. I think Old Guy Farmer and me are about the same time during the year. We're both in late autumn. There'll be plenty of time to clean up our pink marshmallows later. Hello, Jedco. My strategy is also to try to stay as centralized to the main farm as possible. Yesterday, for example, we went and mowed the grass over by the cow area, and it literally took an entire game day to drive over there, mow it, drive back, pick up our rake and baler, drive back over there, do the raking and baling, and drive back. So for the amount of bales that we've got for that endeavor, it really did not feel as if it was worth the time investment. If you're still in the stream, Old Guy Farmer, this little sheep here, he likes to get outside the fence and eat. I keep hoping he doesn't run off. You don't own this field. We'll take care of that soon enough. So since we're going to focus on areas around the farm, we're going to buy up some more land around here. Yesterday we purchased field 23 because we had a day of rain. So we went ahead and bought that field and did some field work while it was raining. So So it has now been planted in grass, and we are going to take this sign out. And we're going to blame the teenagers for driving around town and just beating down signs with bats. It's already 10:30 game night. Well, that's quite the pile. We'll hopefully get another dozen or so bales off of this grass here. Oh, you don't like to, you don't like this dip. And there went that sign. And we might as well take that one out too. So there were some people in chat earlier, Old Guy Farmer, that were inquiring as to if you would do, if at any point in time you would do a contest that would be open to console players or not. Alright, so let's go see how much we can get baled up here before we lose some grass. The key thing is that we've got it all raked. So when at midnight we lose one layer of grass, we don't lose everything that we have mowed. We will lose a little bit out of the windrow. We had what I call the Great Grass Catastrophe. The first time we mowed the cow area, we lost probably about 15 to 20 bales because we didn't get it windrowed before midnight. and the grass literally disappeared in front of our eyes. It was quite a horror show. Let's also hope we don't end up with any marshmallows on the train tracks. Yeah, I mentioned that I wouldn't know how it would obviously have to be a map that was on both PC and console, and it would probably have to be such that you couldn't use the mod unless it was also available on console. So I didn't know how it would be fully fair to have console and PC at the same time. There's the train. There, you dump there. Oh, did you see it? Windrows just went down. If you watch carefully, right at midnight, you see the windrow just shrink, just ever so slightly. Yeah, it would have to be totally vanilla. Of course, there wouldn't be any seasons either, and I don't know how many PC players would want to do a full vanilla map with no seasons. Let's try not to bail up the sign here. I mean, I haven't been doing seasons for too long, and I can tell you that playing a map without it is more of just probably a practice of monotony. Because it's so much just, you know, wash, lather, rinse, repeat to infinitum. There's no real strategy. There's just plant, fertilize, harvest, plant, fertilize, harvest until your brain explodes. Game day 6 of autumn. Last day of autumn. We could run another mission if we wanted. We started the stream with a mission, but that was game day 5. But we're not going to do a mission right now. That might confuse people. So we will do a mission the first thing in the morning. Doesn't look like this field has a plow texture anymore, so it's good to go. So we will be plowing this field right below me next game day. And after we plow it, we're going to buy it. So we're going to get paid. We got paid to fertilize it. We're going to get paid to plow it. And then after we own it, we'll put another layer of fertilizer on it. We'll seed it and put another layer of fertilizer on it, and then it will be good until next spring when grass comes up. Oh, it's not so much an all-nighter as more or less just get whatever we've got on the ground mowed or baled. And then we'll pick up the grass, bales. So I guess technically it's an all-nighter because probably by the time we pick up these bales of silage, then we gotta tend to our sheepies. It'd be nice, Ed, if they built it in. You know, there's probably a fair bit of people that are hoping that they would kind of do what they did with the 4 real mods. Is, I guess, port them over to work with console by basically building them into the game in a patch. Alright, you go enjoy your night. Dream of me making silage bales. Wonderful pink marshmallows all over the fields. Looks like we'll need to fuel this tractor up tonight also. We don't want to run out of gas tomorrow. Busy day of mowing. Seems to be a fair bit of grass back there. We could take those trees out. Well, there are definitely some, there's mods for pretty much every style of gamer. You know, there are definitely those that play arcade. You could, you could almost, you could say that I kind of play arcade-ish. Then there are others like yourself that try to go for a fair level of realism. Oh, look at all those pink marshmallows. For example, I've actually never played with crop destruction on, or with ground response stuff. It just never really occurred to me of the desire to turn those on. Yeah, you can see now this tractor, this is a 25. He's not been doing the baling or the raking for the most part, and he's got a lot of gas. Alright, let's pick these bales up and see how many we got. I'm not sure if Ed was guessing that we'd have 2.5 loads, or if he was guessing we'd have half a load. It might have been a typo, but it kind of looked like you said 2.5. Well, there's a half load right there. Okay, 2.5. That's what Ed's guess is. I gotta be real careful because there's a bag right there. There's another bag here I don't want to pick up. I'm thinking it's closer to 1 load. Whoa, jackknife. Just shy of 1 full load. Alright, let's not tip the trailer again today. Looks like we're going to have a lot of rain tomorrow, so it looks like we're going to do field work. Not a lot of grass work. We got a silage bale in the middle of the road. We're going to go up and see all of our money in the bank. We're getting quite a stockpile of bales up here. No, you can't win them all, but you come pretty darn close. I think we're going to clear all these trees out here during winter time. It's fairly close to the farm. There's a bale down here somewhere. I really do like the sound of this truck. don't know how loud it is coming across the stream or not. Alright, well that's all those, right? Well, let's hope not. Let's hope she doesn't have any aspirations to charge me for the land that I'm sitting the bales on. And here comes the rain. If this does indeed lower maintenance, we might as well clean them off. Thought about setting them out in the rain and letting the rain do it, but that might not lower maintenance. It may have something to do with the pressure washer script. Oh, it's 34 degrees. It's a cold, cold autumn night. Just a few degrees shy of getting some snow. Any grass that's left out there now will surely rot away. All right, let's take a look at things. Where's the cursor at? Hi, Brian. We're actually about ready to close out. If you've just jumped in, sorry about that. So, only 11,000. What are we down? Vehicle running costs. Animal upkeep. That's a nasty one. We're going to be... The animals are going to cost us money every day going forward. I guess it's that animal upkeep that's going to knock us down. No, we could we'll need to feed our animals tomorrow or on the next stream and get them a little bit of water. Like I said, we're going to run the plow mission on this field tomorrow morning and then buy the field. And then since it's going to be a wet crop, we're just going to go ahead and work this field up. We also now need to fertilize these two fields tomorrow. if we get time, and hopefully we get a dry condition and we can cut this grass. And let's jump over here and just check. I just want to check the height of this grass because we didn't cut it but a few days ago. It might not have grown any, so it might not be worth coming over here to cut. Yeah, there's nothing here, so there's nothing to cut. So the only thing we can cut is field 12 tomorrow if it dries out. So that's going to be the plan. We should be maybe streaming tomorrow. If we do stream tomorrow, it's going to be around 9 o'clock. But don't count on it. Tomorrow may not be a stream day, so we might not stream until Tuesday. So go ahead and subscribe, Brian, if you want to, and you'll get a notification next time we stream. It may not be tomorrow. It may be on Tuesday. Just have to see how things work out, because there is something that I would like to do tomorrow on Mondays around 10:45 p.m. And I don't know if I'll be able to stream early enough to be able to be done before that happens. So, pleasure streaming for you all. I hope you all enjoyed it. And until next time, happy farming.